It's time for another Skeleton Crew review. Are the children going to make it back to At Attin? Right, sons, everybody, Batuuboii here, and welcome to another review video for Skeleton Crew. This time we're going to be diving into episode 7, entitled We're Gonna Be in So Much Trouble. Last time we saw the Skeleton Crew, the kids were able to board the Onyx Cinder just as it was about to be eaten apart by a trash compactor and essentially fly off planet, while we see Jod captured by Captain Brutus and his crew. So now that is the jumping off point for this episode, directed by Lee Isaac Chung, who directed episode 19 of season 3 of Mandalorian. He also directed the new Twisters movie that came out last year. And this is where we start with this episode. We find the parents who up until this point have been trying to find a way to be able to communicate with their children. They're able to finally build this device and are out in the woods now in a very ET looking shot where they're using flashlights to kind of like look around through their surroundings. It's very Amblin looking before they're being chased by security droids. Each one of them falls and is captured by these droids until Farah, who's Fern's mother, is able to get up on top of a hill and send this communications device up into the sky and hopefully reach the children. Speaking of, we do see Captain Brutus and his crew finally reach the coordinates that Jod had given them, and it's essentially just a barren planet filled with nothing but like thunderstorms, and that any ship they throw in there, which they do, they put a crew member onto a ship to kind of test the waters, he immediately gets destroyed. And while they're figuring that out, they find the Onyx Cinder about to fly into the planet before they use a tractor beam and essentially suck the ship in. Ship lands in there. The kids use this really funny voice changing device on the ship to make them sound a little bit scarier and warding the pirates to not get on the ship. Captain Brutus essentially goes up there and the kids use like a claw to hold Brutus in check and keep him there. He's trying to struggle. Jod starts making his way up the ramp, thinking that he's gonna go in there and kill the children, but he essentially goes up to Captain Brutus and shoots him in the face, rendering him the new captain of the pirate crew. And with his newfound power, he has the crew take the children as hostages and hold them in the brig. They recover this communications device. Each one of them includes a message from each parent, essentially just saying they miss them, they love them, they hope they're okay. It gets to Wim's dad talking very bureaucratically about the plan that they're trying to conjure up, and I'm thinking the whole time, like, yep, Wim's dad is just not going to say anything sweet, because up until this point he hasn't, but he does give a heartfelt message to Wim saying that he loves him and that he hopes that he makes it back home safely, which was very nice. And while they're trying to figure out what to do next with the children, they are planning an all-out assault on At Attin, but they have to figure out how are they going to get through this storm barrier, with the hopes that there's even an At Attin at the end of all of this storm. But they come to find out that the Onyx Cinder was actually a ship that came from At Attin and was used to transport goods from the planet out. So it actually has a sort of sensor that will ward off the storm as it passes through, to be able to make it onto the planet below. And before they get this plan in motion, something pops in SM-33's head that leaves him to believe that Jod is not the captain, but that it is still Fern. He's able to put up a fight and go up against Jod. And up until that point, SM-33 is putting up a pretty good fight until Jod uses a lightsaber and cuts SM-33's head off. And I literally gasped. He's my favorite character on the show, and he just straight up dies. Jod's a bastard. He then holds the kids hostage, basically saying he's going to chop them up into little pieces if he does not help him and his crew get on planet. They get on the Onyx Cinder and they're able to navigate through the treacherous atmosphere with ease, and they're finally able to make it home back on At Attin. Finally, it's the true planet. They're there and they've made it without a scratch, somewhat. He lands there. They essentially think that he's what's called the emissary. It's essentially a person that's there to transport the Old Republic credits back and forth from the treasury to across the galaxy. So he makes him seem like he's a pretty important person, and obviously he takes takes this title with ease. The families see the ship and know that their children are on there, so they start making their way to the treasury, which is this giant Gringotts looking place with all of these different safes. He opens one and it is absolutely filled with Republic credits. I'm talking bricks upon bricks of just cash, straight up cash. It's noted that there's about 1,139 volts filled with all of this credit. So he has essentially found the greatest treasure in history. And while they're there, Farah requests to speak with the supervisor from one of the security droids, and they essentially bring them into the vaults, and the parents are finally reunited with their children. And it kind of just zooms out there with the shot of the kids and their parents and Jod on the other side of the bridge. And that's where the episode ends. It was a really good episode. It's a nice build up to what we get next. So let me know down in the comments what you thought of this episode. What did you think of Skeleton Crew as a whole? But until next time, till the spire, my friends.